nerds! Welcome back to Nerd Culture. My name is Ruth, and today I'm going to be making you all very upset because I'm ranking all 22 Pixar movies, all the way from the first Toy Story 2 onward. So huge disclaimer, this is just my personal list. Pixar has made so many good movies, and not just good movies, but like especially beautiful movies, and it was kind of like picking my favorite Pixar film was like picking my favorite child. But I did it, so you will listen because I have suffered having to rank these precious babies. There's a lot to think about when ranking a Pixar movie. It can't just be a good movie. Most of the Pixar movies are good movies. Really good movies even. But having Pixar on the title screen means that this movie better be packed full of magic and feels. I base my rankings on 5 things. 1, would I watch this movie again? Not all Pixar films deserve a second viewing in my opinion. 2, did I enjoy watching this movie? If I didn't have a great time, felt connected, laughed, was it even worth it? 3, was this movie memorable? I should be able to make references to this movie and remember iconic lines and scenes from it. 4, does it give me the feels? I am a crier. It doesn't take a lot to make me tear up, so. And 5, does it have that Pixar magic? I love Disney movies, honestly more than Pixar ones, but I think Pixar movies have a deeper layer to their stories most of the time. I've noticed that Pixar usually gets the most praise when its movie explores a seemingly simple concept and builds it into a world that we never imagined. And I'm going to be looking for that kind of magic in these movies.
Nerd.
So we're starting from the movies that I think are the worst and we're going all the way to the best. So let's get into this. Again, feel free to come at me in the comments. Again, this is just my ranking. I would love to hear yours. Number 22, Cars 2. Wow. There's not much to say here. When I was trying to figure out the worst Pixar film, this one came so easily to mind. Literally has so little to do with the original Cars storyline, and it has nothing particularly memorable about it. Literally just does not check off any of the boxes. Number 21, Monsters University. Literally same thing. It did do a better job than Cars 2 at exploring the original characters that we love from the first one, but there was no real point and it didn't have that whole Pixar film feel at all. Like it felt more, I don't know, not Pixar. Number 20, Brave. I just couldn't get with the whole bear concept. Number 19, A Bug's Life. This is one of Pixar's earliest films, so I get that whole it was good for its time thing, but honestly, I never hear anyone talk about this movie, and it personally just isn't memorable to me at all. Number 18, The Good Dinosaur. I actually did cry the first time I saw this movie, and I was on an airplane, so you think it wouldn't have been like as captivating. But really the story was just lacking pretty much any element of a unique story. I feel like nobody heard anything about this movie. There was no really media about it, and we all just missed it, and that's okay because it wasn't that great. Cute idea, but not something I would ever revisit. Number 17, Incredibles 2. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for putting this so low. I guess I just didn't like it that much. I really did enjoy all the scenes where we were with Mr. Incredible and he was a stay-at-home dad. Those were so funny and fun just to connect with our favorite characters from the original Incredibles again. But the rest of the movie, I just felt like was a little too intense. And I know it was supposed to be more of an action film, but the hard concept plot of like this feminism thing, it just felt too strict, I guess. And I don't know, it just didn't, I don't know how to explain it. It was just so intense and direct. And we didn't get any more of Frozone's wife. That was such a lost opportunity. No matter what they did with her, I feel like it would have been okay. We would have loved it. But the fact that she just wasn't in there at all, oh my god. Number 16, Cars 3. We are starting to get into movies that I have less of a problem with. Again, the majority of the Pixar films are so good. So this is getting harder. I was there for the hardcore teasers for this film and I was so hyped. I love McQueen And the majority of the film was really fun to catch up with him and just see how the whole squad is doing. I love the whole aging aspect of the movie. I thought that was so interesting and they did that really, really well. And this probably is just me, but I just was not invested in the girl. So when Cruz essentially becomes McQueen's protege, I just was not into it. And since that was like the whole film, it just kind of lost me. Number 15, Coco. This one I know I'm gonna get so much hate for, and I'm sorry. Please know that I really love this movie so much. I definitely cried, and I would watch it again. I guess it just didn't have that special Pixar magic for me. This movie explored death, which is a really tough subject, and I love the family dynamic of the film. The music was amazing. It had that magical element to it. They brought us to a new world. The plot just felt too, I guess, specific and almost scripted for Pixar. I felt like they didn't really challenge anything new with this film. Number 14, Toy Story. I know, this is the OG Pixar film. I love this movie, and it was such a great beginning to a legacy. It was the place where we first met the Pizza Planet truck, and Buzz thinking he's a real space ranger, and Woody telling him he's a toy. Oh my god, and Mrs. Nesbitt, this movie is iconic in every single way. It's definitely memorable and rewatchable, but out of all the Toy Story films, I must say this is the one I probably would be the least interested in watching again, unless of course I was doing a marathon. Number 13, Toy Story 4. I was so angry when this movie came out. I just didn't understand. They had ended the trilogy so well. Everything was literally perfect with 3. All my questions were answered. I didn't need any more. Andy's storyline had come to an end. It was complete. And they decided to open it back up again. But there are things I really did like about this movie. I liked how we were able to see how Woody would act not being the favorite toy and not even being one of the top picks. This movie is all about Woody and how he should figure out what to do with his life now that Andy's storyline is over, because he doesn't have a place with Bonnie. I loved Forky and his existential questions. And Gabby was a really complicated villain, and her ventriloquist henchmen were so creepy and terrifying. Kaboom was great. And I feel like I'm the only one who cares about it, but that post-credit scene that was less than 30 seconds, it has to do with the Pixar logo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay, but it was the most satisfying thing ever to watch after that movie. Number 12, Onward. I personally love this movie. I lost my dad when I was young too, so I can just personally relate a lot, but I know that's very biased. Similar to Coco, this movie deals with a very heavy plot, but still makes it magical and relatable to kids. Most people I've talked to, though, don't think that they would watch it again and didn't find it very memorable, but I definitely cried a lot. I love Barley so much and Guinevere. It was just so amazing. I'm super into fantasy and I enjoyed this film, but I suppose it didn't quite live up to the Pixar standard. Number 11, Toy Story 2. This used to be my least favorite Toy Story film, but after rewatching it, I realized how fun and special this story is. We get to reunite with all of our favorite characters. We also meet Jessie and get her really dark backstory. I always have to skip when She Loved Me comes on my shuffle playlist because it's literally that sad that I will just get in a bad mood hearing that song. There's the most aesthetically pleasing scene in this movie where, you know, Gary is fixing Woody and painting his eyeballs, and it's just beautiful. Lots of people I know love that scene. Not to mention the other Buzz who's defeating Zurg. That scene is so great. Plus Owl's Toy Barn is such... It's just... This movie is so fun. They steal Pizza Planet truck. It's just such a great time watching that movie. Number 10, Finding Dory. I personally love this movie. It just personally means a lot to me, and I watched it with my favorite person ever in like one of the best parts of my life, so it just carries a lot of... So I just associate a lot of good vibes with it. I love Dory in the first movie, and it was so special to be able to see more of her backstory. Other than the other recent sequels Pixar has done, I thought they did an exceptional job with Finding Dory. They made constant references to the first film, which I felt like fit in so genuinely. Definitely would watch it again. It has the same magic as Finding Nemo, and it's just so fun to watch. They really did a great job. Number 9, Inside Out. This movie is so special because it talks about feelings that humans have in a way that's never been visually captured before. This movie is definitely impactful and has helped many of its viewers realize the importance of allowing ourselves to feel our feelings and not just push sadness away. I think the movie offers such an intimate perspective on Riley and her life that's more relatable than any other main character, as we spend the majority of the movie in her head. I also cry every time when Bing Bong, you know. Number 8, Ratatouille. This movie is so sophisticated and so rich and so unique. I love this movie. It's definitely one of the more underrated Pixar films in my opinion. There's just so much to this movie. The ending scene with the final critic review, that is one of the most beautifully written scenes ever. It's such a brilliant concept, and it explores these two different worlds, and it's very inspiring, and Remy's great, Linguini's great, the characters are awesome. It never makes you cry though. Number 7. Monsters, Inc. This movie is so unique and definitely has the original Pixar magic. I loved watching this movie as a kid. Sully and Mike are such an iconic duo. That film is so funny, and the concept that there could be a monster in your closet is very relatable to children, and Pixar did a great job of putting that on screen in a way that's entertaining. Pixar just did a great job with this movie. And the ending with Boo, oh my god, my heart. Number 6, The Incredibles. Name a more iconic movie. You have Edna Mode, no capes. Even though it's more of an action film, it deals with real family issues. Ash is having trouble at school, Violet is hiding from her crush, Bob has this job he hates, Ellen is trying to be a good wife and mom, balancing everything. And solo Mr. Incredible's mission turns into a whole family adventure, minus Jack Jack. And Mr. Incredibles realizes, I'm not strong enough. This movie is just so much fun. And of course, honey, where's my super soup? Number 5, Toy Story 3. No movie makes me feel as many feelings as I feel when I watch Toy Story 3. I could literally not even be watching the movie and just watch the final scene completely out of context. I cry, just every time, and way too much. This movie is just so special because we realized we were able to watch Andy grow, and now we're seeing him go off to college, which is such a unique experience. Also, there are so many fun scenes in this film with Spanish Buzz. Oh my god, I love Ken and Barbie. Any scene with them is hilarious and amazing. Those two are just great. Oh my god, and also the scene in the trash dump, they were literally prepared to die with each other. And just the last scene is too much to handle ever. Just perfect in every way. Number 4, Cars. I love Cars. I know most of you probably won't understand why I'm putting it so high. Cars is definitely the most marketed Pixar film. There's so many Lightning McQueen toys and products out there for you to buy, but it is also an impactful story. And I feel like sometimes you get so caught up in how marketed it was that we forget what the movie was really saying. When Sally talks to Lightning McQueen about the history of the town before the interstate was built, oh god. Just please go rewatch that movie. There is so much more to driving than just going fast. Number 3, Up. These last 3 are just masterpieces. It was really hard to rank them. But Up. Everyone knows the first 10 minutes of Up, and everybody loves it. I personally always cry at the ending scene when the house lands perfectly where it's supposed to. And oh, that movie's just beautiful. And it's a very memorable journey that we follow them on. The score is beautiful, and Russell and Doug and Kevin are awesome. Up is number 3 for its beautiful love story. So I'm not ranking it higher though, because even though I love Carl and Ellie's love story and the journey and the ending and the beginning, and the side plot is really fun, I don't think the side plot, it's not flawless as the main plot of Carl trying to get this house to fulfill a regret he has for his wife. That's a great story. And I guess the side story with all the dogs, it's so fun. I love this movie. It's number 3. I just don't think it's a flawless side story. Number 2, WALL-E. Such a revolutionary film. Every time I watch this movie, I feel like I understand so much more. They make a lot of bold statements about human society, but they're all made very indirectly, which I just think is so artful. Is artful a word? The majority of this film is pretty silent. We follow a robot who falls in love with another robot, and just like Up, we melt with their story. Then there's a bunch of action and intensity as we board the Axiom. This movie carried the Pixar dream forward into the universe. It literally outdid itself. It was so beautiful. Every scene was everything was gorgeous visually, even if it was of the trashy earth. The scores are great. Everything in this movie is beautiful. I think people of all ages love this movie. But why is it a number one?
Honestly, I would rank it number one. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Number one. This is the greatest Pixar film, in my opinion. It was really hard comparing it to WALL-E, but though WALL-E has a deeper meaning and message behind it, Finding Nemo has those moments too. And just so many funny lines from Dory, and this dad literally crosses the ocean to find his son. And that is just an adventure that will never not be enjoyable to me. This movie was also just such an incredible tribute to the ocean, more so than I think WALL-E was a tribute to space. I also think we all know several people who have Just Keep Swimming as their Instagram bio. It has such a unique story, such fun characters, so much imagination, and a lot of heart. Finding Nemo is number one because I think it has everything you could ever want from a good movie. Plus, he touched the butt. And there you have it. That is my official ranking from the worst to the best Pixar films. Soul is still set to release this June, and I'm really hoping we can put it up high on this list. Again, this is just my personal ranking. Let me know down in the comments what your ranking would be. Do you actually hate Finding Nemo? Is Cars 2 your favorite movie? Also, let me know what rankings I should do next. And also, if there's any rankings you'd like to see from all of nerd culture, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe all down below. And check out the other videos we have here on nerd culture. And always remember, adventure is out there. Anyone can cook to infinity and beyond. And just keep swimming. Bye!